Hi everyone, welcome to ASL. It's been an incredible journey and I've learned so much, and you'll be glad that as you take these classes you learn more about the deaf culture, you'll learn about sign language, and it's kind of neat to be able to actually carry a conversation. So every week you're giving sentences that you must do, and you take your vocabulary words, and it helps you to learn the different sentence structures, and it helps you to learn the non-manuals. So I have kind of taken the sentences and I've kind of broken them down into how I classify them from easy and hard, and some of the things that I do when I'm doing my gloss, and some of the things that I think will help you when you're trying to figure out how to gloss. That these are things that kind of helped me. Well, the first two are kind of a tie. I find them both simple, but when I reflected back on making the sentences, I realized that I always come up with a simple yes or no question first, because everything could be a question. I mean, you know, do you do dishes? That's a question. That's a short, simple yes or no question. Or do you want to go to the store? Simple yes or no questions. And they're very short, and they're answered with a yes or no. And the sign variable can be how you do the signs could be any way, but the signs alone do not ask the question. You've got to use your non-manuals too, like you're going to raise your eyebrows and you're going to tilt your head a little bit forward, and you're going to maintain eye contact. And this is a very common sentence in ASL. The second one is again a very simple sentence. It's as a matter of fact, it's called the simple sentence. And it is kind of small, short. It's either going to be 2 or 3 signs, not much more. And again, the order of the signs are in no particular order, unless you're talking to someone, and then the order becomes somewhat important. Again, the manuals are got to match what you're saying. So if you're signing about someone happy, you should be happy. If you're signing about someone sad, you should be sad. If you're signing about someone excited, you should be excited. That way it gives them more of a feel. It's so much in sign language, it's not always about what you're saying, it's about how you're saying it too, and the emphasis you put on your body movement. You're going to learn that too. It's kind of different, but you've got to be over exaggerated. That's just kind of how you put your point across. My third favorite one is a time topic comment. That's where you state the topic and then you talk about it. And whenever you're using a time element, it goes at the beginning of the sentence. And again, some of the non-manuals are eye contact, raising your eyebrows slightly with a tilt of your head, and then when signing the topic. And you're going to hold the last sign just a little bit longer, or pause, before you move on to the next one. And some little hint about this is that the tense never changes. So when you're talking about a tense, the ings and the is, like I'm going or we wanted, once that is established, you don't change it. The whole sentence, your whole conversation is established in that tense. Whether it's past, like I'm going to the store, that's something in the future, or I wanted that candy, that was in the past. So wherever your sentence structure is, it's going to stay that way until you change it. And then once you change it, again, it becomes whatever that new tense is. My next favorite is going to be the conditional sentence. And this is where the clause is always in the beginning of the sentence, and you must clearly describe the condition. These are what I think of as ifs, like, if we do this, this is going to happen, or suppose we do that, what will happen. So the outcome of the condition is always the second part. So when you're talking about something like, if I don't do good on this, movie or this video, I'm going to get an F, or I'm not going to get a good grade. So I'm talking about what's going to happen, the condition of the sentence. And the non-manuals are going to be that you're going to raise your eyebrows and you tilt your head, and then you're going to hold the last sign. So when you're talking about, if we go to the store, we'll buy bread. So you're talking about the store would be held just a little bit longer. And some little hints about these conditional types of sentences, that the word then is never signed. And the word order is very specific. If or suppose can be left out, but you need to use non-manuals in their place. Like if, when, my eyes are like when, that means like if, or are we going to the store? Like maybe we are. So you got to make sure that if you leave those two words out, your face and your expressions kind of make up for them for not saying them. My fifth kind of favorite one is negation. And I like that one because it can turn any of these sentences into a negative. Just by placing a negative head shake or a negative sign, like, I'm not going to the store. Going to the store? No, I'm not going to go. Or, I want to walk the dog. No, I don't really want to walk the dog. And again, the non-manual for this type is just a shake of the head. And it can be used with any of the sentence structures, of the 8 sentence structures that we have. And the number 6 is a rhetorical question. This is kind of easy because you don't expect anyone to answer it. So it's like you're kind of answering your own question, if I eat ice cream, I'm going to be full, so I'm saying, like, or do you want ice cream? We'll get full. Like, it's going to be, I'm answering my own question. And again, you're making eye contact with the person you're talking to. You're raising your eyebrows a little bit with a tilt of the forward. And again, you hold the last question just a little bit longer. And this could be positive or negative. It doesn't always have to be negative. It doesn't have to be positive. It could go both ways. And it often uses the words like why or how in these rhetorical questions, like if or suppose. Why, do we want to go to the store? Because we need bread. Or why do you want to do that? Because we might need this. You see how the because and yes are part of these sentences because you're answering your question. Now we're getting to the harder ones. I always find difficulty every week trying to answer these because they're just more intense and they're a little bit harder. The information seeking and what questions. These are questions that request information. And they're often using the who, what, where, why, when, and how many. And the questions are shorter and non-manuals are used on the whole question. When the question is longer, the non-manuals are used in the phrase. And the eye contact, the non-manuals are going to be like you're going to make eye contact, you're going to squeeze like you're asking a question like, what? And the head tilted forward. Or see if you say it, you kind of like just do it automatically, like, what are you talking about? Information-seeking questions, they're generally a little short, and they're not answered with a yes or no. So that's how you can kind of tell the difference. If you can answer these questions with a yes or no, they're probably not information-seeking questions. All right, and then the hardest for me are the long yes or no questions. All right, and I just don't know why I find them so difficult, but I do. Because you've got to maybe explain the subject and then the question. The question should be at the end or near the sentence. And again, the non-manuals are, eye contact, raised eyebrows, and head tilted a little bit further. And, the best advice I can give about the non-manuals is just don't think about it. If you're saying the words, they're non-manuals and they kind of go with it because they're what everyone does anyway. So if you just, let yourself, say the question or say the sentence when you're signing it, you're going to do it anyway and you'll be fine. I wish you luck and enjoy the journey. It's been wonderful and I've learned a lot, and good luck and thank you.